Amazing place. If you haven't been here, you should
Yes.
definitely bring the kids, come on by, and the folks here have been very accommodating to us. We really want to thank them. And we're going to meet some of the pilots from or one of the pilot and one of the techs from this museum later in the show. Welcome back to City Scene. We're now going to find out all about this great museum. We're in the World War II Commemorative Air Museum out here at Camarillo Airport, a great place. If you haven't checked it out, it's really worth a visit. And with us there are two of the guys who are very involved in the museum, Steve Barber and Ron Fleischman. Welcome, guys.
Welcome to both of you.
Again, this is right out here. If you come down Eubank Street, you pretty much drive right into the museum. So check it out, and we're going to find out everything we can, let you know everything we can about it.
Yeah, and it's been great. This is a great place. We need to get the word out. It's amazing.
I think we're the best kept secret around.
I think I would have to agree. So first off, when you walk inside this building, it's a hangar here at the airport. You walk inside and it's amazing how many planes are here, equipment, memorabilia, books, model planes. A couple of planes actually had to be wheeled out of the hangar here to make room for the filming today. So it's pretty amazing.
Lou, our producer, cameraman, he's going to, a little bit later in the show, you're going to get a taste of what it's like to fly in one of these puppies, so you'll see that a bit later in the show.
So tell us and tell our viewers what the days and hours the museum is open.
I'll let Ron handle that since
We're
he works
open
in the museum.
every day except for Mondays
And of course
Wednesdays.
we have some sound in the background.
That's because we're near an airport.
We're at the airport, so I'm sorry.
For the rest of this month, we're open every day except Mondays and Wednesdays. Starting in February, we are going to be open Wednesdays. So Tuesdays through Sunday, we open up at 10 in the morning and close at 4, unless somebody shows up at the last minute and we say, all right, come on, we'll give you a tour. So we're not adverse to that, but we'd like you to come here during our regular hours, because it takes about a good 45 minutes to see everything. And depending upon the dosage that you get, if you get me, who likes to talk,
2 hours.
it may take a little
2
more.
hours.
Not quite, but there's a lot to see, and everything has a story here, and it should be told.
Now, do you get school groups coming through here?
Yeah, we have, we get a lot of school groups come through. They have to call in advance so we can schedule them. We have school groups, retired groups. We're hoping to get some tour groups to come through.
Yeah.
It's great to give a tour if the kids talk to you and ask questions. We really love it when they ask questions. Kind of the roughest tours we get are when you get the little 5- and 6-year-olds and they go,
They don't know what to say.
And our thing is the fact that we'd like them to teach a little more history than they do in the schools. And if they get World War II history from coming to us, we're just happy to give
give us a little history of the museum here. How long have you been open? And I think that it used to be known as the Confederate Air Force
It used to be called the
Museum.
Confederate Air Force. We were started in Texas 51 years ago. A little place called Mercedes, Texas, moved to a place called Harlingen, and then moved to a place called Midland, where we're at now. We were started, our museum, our group started in 1981 with one airplane, the big silver C-46, and then we got the AT-6, or the SNJ, the Navy airplane. And
Was the C-46, was that the Camarillo Connie? Was that the...
No, this is a Curtiss C-46 Commando.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
One of the air shows that the Commando, Mayor Kildee said that if Memphis could have its Bell, Camarillo can have its Commando.
Okay, very cool.
The Camarillo Connie is now in Switzerland.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Permanently?
Permanently.
Wow.
Yeah, the Breitling Watch people are handling that.
Okay.
So it'll probably never come back to the States, but a lot of TLC, so it'll fly forever, which is what we want to do with our airplanes.
Back in the when the CF was founded, some crop dusters from southern Texas were World War II veterans, and both of them wanted to be fighter pilots during the war, and they never got their chance. One of them became a bomber pilot and flew many missions, and the other one was a flight instructor all during the war. What people don't realize is the best pilots coming out of flight training were tapped as instructors, much to their chagrin, and they all wanted to be fighter pilots.
Yeah.
But the best of the best became instructors. That includes bomber pilots and fighters. So a man named Lloyd Nolan, no relation to the actor, was actually the founder of the CAF. And what they decided to do, the crop dusters, saying, gee, we can buy these surplus airplanes quite cheap on the open market. So they went out and bought a fighter, because they always wanted to fly a fighter. Well, all of their friends said, well, that's not fair. You guys, we have to sit on the ground and watch you fly, so they bought another one. And more people came in. Well, anyway, that was the genesis of the CAF. And they actually didn't even have a name. They were flying an air show, and I believe it was in Texas.
Kingsville
Naval Air Station, and the base commander said, what do you guys call yourself? We just like to fly. They were doing the air show. And the next morning, they walked out to get in their airplanes, and somebody had taken shoe polish, white shoe polish, and put Confederate Air Force on the side of one of the airplanes.
Oh, really?
The name stuck. Turned out, the person who did that, and we found that out about 10 years ago, was the founder's brother. They went out to Davis Monthan, and they found out that they were systematically destroying all the World War II airplanes. They had mobile smelters and cutting machines. They were just going down, cutting up the airplanes, loading them into the smelters, and they were selling it for scrap.
Oh my God.
And so at that point, they decided that their goal was to try to save one of every type that participated in World War II if they could, and to form an organization to support it. And that's how the Confederate Air Force came to be. And now we're comprised of about 10,000 members throughout the world, United States and overseas, and we have about 160 aircraft.
Now, does the aircraft kind of roam around?
If you'll think of it as a franchise, if a group of individuals is interested in forming what we call a wing or a squadron at some location, and they think they have enough people with the ambition to donate money, to donate their time to restore them and keep them flying, then they'll form a squadron or a wing, and they'll petition headquarters for an airplane if it's available. Well, our main museum is in Midland, Texas, and we have a huge hangar down there, a beautiful museum. And so if there's an airplane available and there's a group that wants the airplane, they'll actually bid on it. In other words, if they have 4 or 5 groups that are interested in the same airplane, headquarters through a board, if you will determine which one they feel is the best for the organization, who can best support it, sponsor it, who has capable pilots to operate it. And that's really how we got started here. Ron got the C-46 up and going.
The original concept was kind of loosely organized on military lines. So you have wings and squadrons. When we first started out, it was interesting because we had about 40 members and a big airplane, and we were considered a squadron. And the people that we got the airplane had 5 members and no airplane, they were considered a wing. So it changes around. But as Steve said, you have to, an airplane comes up for assignment, and you have to show our headquarters that you can handle the airplane financially, maintenance, pilot-wise.
Okay.
So even though the airplanes are considered museum pieces, they still have to comply with everything that the FAA says for their.
I'm sorry, to be a member of the museum here, are you required to be a pilot?
No.
No.
We have members from all walks of life, attorneys, doctors, electricians. The only underlying requirement is that they have a desire to build the organization, to help us maintain, to build facilities to store them. When we built this hangar 6 years ago, prior to that, we were operating out in the open at first when Ron started with the C-46. And then here in front of our facility, there was a 3-sided World War II nose hanger. And that's what we operated out of. And until we could get a lease from the airport that we could live with, and the property that we needed, then we fundraised to build the hangar. It's about $1.7 million that we put into the place, all raised by private donations.
Now, is that how the maintenance and operation is also funded through private donations?
That and air shows,
Okay.
tours through the museum.
And I think you fly in some air shows.
You guys have a passing interest in planes, right? I mean, you can take
Been
them,
around them all my life.
take them or leave them.
You know, and I worked for the airlines for 40 years until I retired.
Wow. So the some of the footage we'll see toward as we segue into our next public safety segment, flying in the Navy SNJ-5. How old is that?
Well, it was built in 43,
Okay.
so you can do the math on that.
I
Don
cannot do the
can,
math,
but
but I'll
somebody
leave it
can.
to you.
There's nothing here that, if it looks like World War II, it is World War II. So
Okay.
we're talking 65,
Right.
70 years.
Again,
You know-
Lou
you know-
went, our producer Lou went up and took some footage in that plane earlier today,
Right.
so it was a great day today.
Well, that SNJ was the second aircraft we acquired. 5 members bought that when it came back from Japan. The United States had sent it over to Japan as a training airplane for their Air Force after the war, and they operated it for many years. And when it was re-imported, 5 of our members chipped in, bought it, flew it for a couple of years with the CAF, and then donated it.
Wow.
So that was our second
That's
airplane.
neat.
We're kind of up against it now, so let's
Oh.
get some of the details. What's the phone number for people to get a hold of you?
If you have to get a hold of us, area code 805-482-0064.
And give us the website?
The website is www.orgsite.com/ca/CAF-SoCal.
Yeah, we'll put that up on the screen. It'll be easier. And again, this place is full
It's
of.
amazing.
We're looking at a Russian plane. We've got all kinds of stuff here. There's
Well, our audience-
armaments from all over. It's just it's a great tour, and it's a great facility.
And our viewers don't really have an opportunity, but in this hangar, there's usually probably 7 or 8 planes, is that right?
That's
And
correct.
all of them fly?
Everything in this
flying
hangar
or will be
flies,
flying.
Will be
except
flying.
for the Russian airplane and the red airplane,
Okay.
which is not an airplane. It's
So
a
here,
replica.
yes.
It was originally built because it looks like the Red Baron's airplane to sit in front of the Red Baron Pizza restaurant.
Right.
Cool.
That
All right,
sounds
well,
great.
thanks a lot,
Yeah.
guys. We're getting high, so we got to go. Want to thank the folks. Actually, it was Sarah from New Beginnings who was here about Eating Disorders Awareness Week. And come out and check the Air Museum, and please stay tuned for our public safety segment.
And if they want to take a ride in a couple of our World War II airplanes, they can call us too. We offer
Okay,
that.
great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.